imagine somebody coming down and tell you that you was given the keys or given the go-ahead to do the same thing that they done to your Christ, to this new entity that's going to come right in the midst of you, inside of your clouds. You'll see. Imagine something coming that way. You see, when you see him, you don't see nothing but some clouds and storm and storms and all type of tsunamis and shit just coming from the being. So you thinking that the being is just filled with trauma because of the way it talk. That's what you feel. But where did you learn your trauma from? Where did you learn these things from? Where did it come from? Because those who's ruling you don't have these problems. They didn't clear the way for their next generation. All those that's under them have a problem. These are so-called low-class people, so we have to mimic the power for us to say that God blessed us, that we're blessed by God, and then you could always tell them by the fruit that they bear. So you turn and then you look at their fruit. It reminds them of these beings over here that live in this area. But all these people say you was born from an ape, or said you were 3/5 of a human being. They're looking with their eyes. They don't give a darn how high you have risen. You see, whatever you have, we gave it to you. We allowed you to have it, but you ain't gonna have it up here. Have it down there. You're not gonna have your glory up here in our air. We don't want to see you. We want to stay by ourselves. We want to separate ourselves. We are holy beings. You see, we want to separate ourselves from you peasants. You see, what? They're worth $1 billion. They're $1 billion peasants. We don't want them up here. Just have them buy them some land somewhere else. And later on, our children will burn that shit down. Because that's what we taught them how to do. You see, these are Christians. Because in my grandmother's days, and you see, they used to put crosses. The crucifix that you have on your neck, they used to put those things on, burn them. Representing Jesus on fire. You Jesus on fire. You Jesus on fire. Burn it. That's them. They cursed their own people when they did that. See, they wasn't burned. They burned that. It was a symbol. So they burned up the virgin. They burned the virgin. The burning of the virgin gave them power. The meaning they don't exist. They didn't come through the womb. God placed them there. God placed himself there to be the power over the earth. You see. So here you are. You see, a virgin. You see. Sometimes you gotta look. There's a virgin right here. It's a virgin. You see, fallopian tubes or ovaries. What do you call them? What y'all call it all day? Here's the canal. It ain't nothing right here yet. You see, but when that seed come and do its thing, you see, this thing right here is gonna do this. You see, it's gonna do that. And here you are right here. You see, here you are right. That's you right there. You starting to blow up. But when it's time for you to come down, you're gonna come down this gate right here. And then here you are. Here you are, your little self with the little legs and shit. You see, this is you right here. Your little bitty ass coming from right up here, from way out to a whole different dimension. You see, whole different dimension. You have to go through your negative in order to live. You see, you have to go from the positive to the negative, and then she binds the two together, and here you are. That's called life. This is called an ankh. It's called life. I know it's Asiatic. I know that it's like that, and you don't like the Asiatic. Somebody said you don't like yourself. You see, so everything that has things like this in it, you start talking about worshiping and all these other type things. You know, ain't nobody worshiping nothing. We just talking about what's inside of your vagina. You see, it ain't worshiping. If I'm sitting up here looking at the sun, I don't even know what that means. Who gave you that word? Who gave you that worshiping? So I got to learn the difference between a O and an a 6 and a 1. I got to learn that difference. Listen. Only thing I'm saying to the people's all is be careful sometimes when you accusing people and thinking they don't know God because they're not coming from your book. You see, always put yourself in a position to say to yourself, if God have soldiers, or if God have scouts, or if God have recruiters, it just think about this, because when you have an organization, or when you're building a business, you need employees, right? You need people that's going to do the work to help grow your business. So just think of it. It's just natural for you to be like this. Even before they came and made everything paperwork, when everything was natural, the people still used to do it, because that's what is plentiful like that out here in the world. But just imagine, you don't know. You have to read your instruction. Now, if God don't say that he multiplies itself, you see, if God don't tell you that, right, in your book, you ain't, no. You're going to have to decipher things on your own. So when you seeing somebody that look like you, that got flesh, it's automatically for you, if they not going by the program, they must be following Satan. You see, so therefore, your eyes is going to, and the one whom you said you love, who got the power to come into a vessel. You see, you are going to do the same thing to it, because you're going to think that it's going to speak from it. But no, he probably is going to speak from how he was created. He going to speak about of creation. He gonna speak about its experience. That's what's gonna pull you in, because you might hear some things that it's talking about, however it may be. But it all depends on where it grew up at. So wherever it's growing up at, if it didn't go to your institution, you're gonna call him dumb, because he ain't gonna be using the words that you use, unless he's somebody come to him and teach him how to use these words. You see what I'm saying? While he's holding on to his supreme being. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's not holding on to it. It's attached to his vessel. He don't got the power to release God. God is attached to his vessel, to your vessel. He don't have the power to release it. How is it that the devil can just walk on inside of your vessel without permission? But God needs permission from you to come through. So who is God and who is Satan? Satan, the one who needs permission for you. He's supposed to be the one that needs permission, but he could just walk on in like he's your, like you're his. Did you sell your children to the government when you signed that paper, or let them stamp the bottom sole print of your child? Did you sell him to this nation? Well, you just sold him to Satan. With your birth certificate, you sold your children. But you speak different when it comes to God. So when this being come into the world and see what everything is, the very being whom you said you love, you're going to do the same thing that the book programmed you to do to this being that you said you love. You don't know where he is, so that's why you do the same thing over here. You do the same thing over there. You do the same thing right here. You see what I'm saying? The same thing they did to Jesus, you're going to do it to your neighbor because you can't identify this being. You can't imagine it being or looking just like you because of the hype that they put inside of the book. Because of the hype that they put inside of the book about this being. You see? So it can't come down and look like you. So when you walk up to me, I don't supposed to see Christ in you. If I see another thing, if I see anything that looks like Christ in you, and I start reading from the Bible and talking about what is in the Bible, and you don't understand what's in the Bible, you ain't no Christ. You a devil. And how Gino said, you a devil from the pits of hell. That's how Gino get you, boy. You see, praise his heart. You see, God bless him though. He's right. He's right there. He's right there where he needs to be. You see, but his arrogance is making him, he's allowing his arrogance to get to him. And he don't know it. He don't know it. You see, he don't know it. Because the eyes been here. You see, you can't build a church. Build these churches without building a school, a proper school for the next generation. You can't build a church in hell. You're supposed to build, the church is the being. You're supposed to build up the being, you see. Teach it. You know how those who have the power, and you see, and they took all these other nationalities from the world and brought them in. You see, they had to look similar to the indigenous people of this land. So they had to teach them how to be like the indigenous people of this land. They had to teach them. They had to show them the rhythm. You see, they had to show them the rhythm. You see, they had to show them how the prophets and all and pimp daddies and shit that you call pimp daddies, they had to show them how the indigenous used to walk around with their chests up and head high and you know with that one little limp and things. You see what I'm saying? You see, this is how the apostles used to walk through. This is why they was jealous, because they looked like this when they come through. You see, it wasn't because they had a big head. It was they just knew the being that was greater than them. So they had their head up and they bounced away. Their toroidal field was pulsating in them. You see, you know, you have no idea who these people are. You're reading inserts. You see, or you're reading revisions. But the true living beings, you see them with your eyes every day. But you don't want to see how the apostles used to talk and walk. You don't want to see that type shit. What you want to see them classical. Hello, how are you today? Greetings. Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, you must be courteous. Listen, we were taught by the Moors on our etiquette. What did I say it right? No, you place a book on your head, ma'am, and you walk like this. This etiquette and this classical and all this other type of shit. It was taught by the rhythmic. You see, by the rhythmic. Because when the Moors came through and they used to play their harps and play their music and things like that, You see, and all this type of shit, composing all these great things and shit before everything was whitewashed. You see, all these black folk that you call black, just given to the world. It don't make a difference what type of child it is, wherever it's growing up at, it's going to give to the world. But if I can program you to stop these children from gaining this type of power and influence over the world, you see, if I can just stop you somehow, you see, but I got to teach you how to read. So I got to put me inside this book somehow, you see, and that's what they did. That's what they did. You see, I'm talking about, it don't have nothing to do with white people. I'm talking about these are black folks. These are black folks. These are black folks. They love these Caucasians so much, you see, or they didn't, well, not really the men, it was the women. It was the birthers of their nation. You see, they loved them women so much, you see, when they saw their bodies and things, they just fell in love, fell in lust with these women. You see, they fell in lust with them, you see. They fell in lust with them because their woman, you see, was too motherly like. You see, but these women were more submissive. And when they came through, and wherever they had on, they was greeted in a way that the black woman saw just some natural garments that they had on, but these other people looked at them like they was something. So they stayed around those who felt like they had power. And you see, yeah. And through their children, when they had these mixed children, these children came out, you see, learning from these black people's insecurity. You see, and that's how they lost Europe, you see, by fucking. Yeah, it is what it is. But you're doing the same thing today. You're doing the same thing today. You can't identify. You trying to get praise and shit. You trying to get praise. And that's your sin. You see, you trying to get praise with motherfucker or some type of approval. You see, if however height you get on, don't forget to build. Fuck buying shit. Fuck, you just build. You have to keep building so the next generations can come. Listen, whatever you see the Caucasian do, remember who you were. You see, this came from them. How you think they was able to write it from the Bible? This came. Listen, all the shit, all the stuff that they're doing that they call civilized. That shit came from you. You see, there is no such thing as Europeans being civilized. You see, civilized beings or had a civilization. What civilization? Where? Everything about them is warmongering. I'm not talking about the offsprings and those who are laid innocent. I'm talking about those that look like them that's in power. You see, look like them that's in power. You see, the only people that had the power to bring that energy down is their own people, their own folk. And so they're going to fight them like they did back in the day. They're going to always fight each other. Who's the right one? Or who? Listen. I gotta fight God. You see, I gotta fight him. We can defeat God if we do it like this. We got to keep the basic things that we need in here, but twist these things when the other reader, when we teach them how, or when they come into a space to where they know how to read our language now. Because when people say they didn't know how to read, black folks didn't, or African Americans didn't know how to read back then. And always don't let them put a period right there. They didn't know how to read. Ask them they didn't know how to read what? Ask them they didn't know how to read what? Because they knew their own language. They knew their own God, so they didn't know how to read what? You see. Just think about it. If they didn't know how to read, you see, who gave them something to read? Who gave them themselves to read? Or was the English language developed by people that look like me? And if you don't know none of that, stay neutral and just continue to know that there is a greater power, omnipresent power that's greater than you. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And something in you will click in your head. You see, on who you call Yehoshua or whom you call Jesus, it will just start clicking in your head. And then all of a sudden your eyes will start visualizing something or thinking, or you will start hearing something. Your spirit going to hear something, and it's going to tell you who this being is or who these beings are. Your spirit is going to tell you. Your spirit is already trying to tell you. You see, but you're fighting it. You see, you're fighting, and I know you're fighting it because I can feel the fight. You hear the fight every day inside of me. You hear it every day. That's what you go see. That's what you said you love. You see, that's what you said you love. You're in the future. You see, you already denied him. You're denying him now, but you ain't denying it. You're denying yourself. You see. Because you don't believe in it, you believe in what's written about it. But that it came out the blueprint of a woman. You see, in a minute,